Last year saw a lot of stellar JRPGs enter the market, including remasters, sequels and brand new properties. I've picked out the 10 best JRPGs from 2021 on PC, Switch, Xbox One and PS4. Anyway, let's go!
May have been strong and skilled, but against the awesome power of nature, he was merely a man.
While the Monster Hunter series is known primarily for its hack-and-slash gameplay against titanic beasts, players who prefer a less intense experience have been able to experience the franchise's world through Monster Hunter stories. The second installment, released in July, lets players tame and ride monsters as well as hunt them down.
That's when I met you.
The battles in Wings of Ruin may be turn-based, but they offer just as much challenge as the real-time hunts in the main series. If you're not careful, it's still entirely possible to be defeated by a single blow from mightier monsters. As with all Monster Hunter games, preparedness and foresight are key.
Shin に人のための世界を作ってくれると思う。私は君に未来を託すわ。
The Shin Megami Tensei series is notorious for being hardcore. A single playthrough requires dozens and dozens of hours at minimum. At the best, ending is usually only available after a second run. Shin Megami Tensei 5, released exclusively for Switch in November, continues the series' tradition while giving the franchise a serious graphical upgrade. Like the other game in the series, Shin Megami Tensei put players smack in the middle of an eternal conflict between law and chaos. Their decisions will affect the ultimate outcome, but there are few choices in the game that feel truly right. The ability to collect and deploy over 200 different demons provides limitless team options as well. If you need to get lots of gameplay out of a single purchase, Shin Megami Tensei 5 is a strong choice.
Shin Megami Tensei 5.
May the world stand in awe of the might of Holograd.
He is the only ruler I will...
The Bravely series became a modern classic almost overnight thanks to its wonderful characters, twist plots, and modern spin on traditional JRPG combat.
Give me everything you got.
While 2015's Bravely 2nd was technically the first sequel to Bravely Default, it served to continue the story laid out in the original game, featuring the same world and many of the same characters. By contrast, Bravely Default 2 begins a new timeline with its own cast and setting.
As long as we keep moving, I'm happy.
Princess Gloria, we want the wind.
Bravely Default 2 is still very much a Bravely game, so the job system and the BP-based combat is all intact. The story also focuses heavily on elemental crystals, much like the original. As the latest game in a series that has established itself as a must for JRPG fans, Bravely Default 2 continues the tradition of its predecessors, Bravely.
The Bravely Default 2 game is almost here.
The first 6 Final Fantasy titles were among the best games of their time, indeed of all time. Every few years they come due for another remake or remaster, and this time Square Enix really knocked it out of the park, updating the classic Nintendo and Super Nintendo titles with modern music and visual effects while keeping the beloved pixelated sprites intact. has made them fresh and new once more. Whether you are a long-time fan or wondering what all the fuss around 30-year-old games is about, the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters belong in any collection. Final Fantasy V, released in Japan in 1992 but unavailable in West until 1999, perfected the series' job system and introduced franchise standbys including Gilgamesh and the dreaded Tomberry. The Pixel Remaster has it looking and sounding better than ever. And we can't wait until the series finishes with Final Fantasy VI, an honest-to-goodness masterpiece, in 2022. JRPGs, perhaps more than any other genre, tend to spawn long-running franchises. With decades of classic behind us, it's easy to get caught up in the hype of the sequels, remakes and spin-offs. Edge of Eternity from developer Midgar Studio is brand new, bright and sparkly. It's got everything a JRPG classic in the making needs. A richly imagined fantasy world, unforgettable characters and a gorgeous soundtrack, in this case courtesy of Yasunori Mitsuda, of Chrono Trigger fame.
You have a choice to make.
There are so many games that it's easy to become jaded. Few can capture the magical feeling you got when you first played that game. Edge of Eternity has what it takes to bring back that feeling, or, if you're ever lucky, to actually beat that game. Astria Ascending is a very pretty game, filled to busting with hand-drawn puppet animations. It's a veritable feast for the eyes. With 8 party members and 20 classes, it offers plenty of builds and combos for players to try across its many dungeons. Astria Ascendings differ from many other games of its kind in that it isn't a group of plucky teenagers out to save the world. The heroes are all grown adults with needs and responsibilities they'll have to sacrifice for the good of all. They know they are doomed, but saving the world is worth it. It's a more serious tone than most JRPGs take, so if you're looking for something with a bit more gravitas, give it a try.
Alright people, listen up. We've got a harrowing to stop. And remember, from here on out, it's Captain Fortune.
The goddess granted me a vision.
Riot expanded the League of Legends universe in a big way in 2021, releasing not only the Netflix hit Arcane, but also a brand new RPG called Ruin King.
Welcome to the wild, no hero.
The dark comes, swallow everything.
Putting players in stylish boots of misfortune, the game sends them on a high seas journey full of excitement and danger. Ruin King looks positively fantastic with evocative in-game graphics and comic book style cutscenes courtesy of artist and founder of developer Airship Syndicate Joe Madureira.
The one you seek, he stirs.
Players curious about League of Legends but uninterested in MOBA gameplay or scared off by the less than stellar reputation of the League player community should definitely give Ruin King a try. Riot has thrown down the gauntlet in 2021 and made it clear they're much more than a one-trick pony. If you ever spent any amount of time in JRPG fandom, you probably heard of Disgaea. The unapologetically over-the-top franchise has been delighting fans since 2003. Disgaea 6 is the first new game in the series in over 6 years, giving long-time players a chance to finally exhale and newcomers a great entry point. This time around, players will take the role of Zed, a lowly zombie determined to defeat the god of destruction. He's tried many times before, but each time his enemies kills him, Zed just gets back up and try again. Like its predecessors, Disgaea 6 is bursting with bizarre characters, absurd plot points and throughoutly ridiculous combat. Tactical battles between the denizens of the underworld result in hundreds of thousands of damage points to either side, and the combos only get bigger and the game goes on. Subtitly is for other games. Disgaea is the JRPG equivalent of a hand grenade filled with glitter in the middle of your living room. I mean, that is the best possible way.
JRPGs are gonna get a serious punch in the throat! Disgaea 6, Defiance of Destiny.
Let's make it epic.
An RPG spin-off of Sega's cult favorite Yakuza series, Like a Dragon tells the story of Ichiban Kasuga, a mobster who gets out of prison after nearly 20 years to discover his family has been betrayed and destroyed. If that sounds like a gritty revenge tale set against the backdrop of Japan's city streets, you are right. However, being a Yakuza game, Like a Dragon is also a high-energy melodrama with super-powered baseball bats, soulful karaoke, go-kart racing and weaponized champagne bottles. It's a lot.
Too big.
Despite the jarring blend of weirdness and seriousness that Yakuza is known for, Like a Dragon shapes up to be one of the best RPGs of the year. Given how well the game was received, it won't be surprised to see Kasuga-san make a return in the future installments.
You are about to take the first steps of your adventure through a realm of sword and sorcery.
Voice of Cards, The Isle Dragon Roars is what would happen if the indie this or that ruler, sim, reigns became a full-fledged RPG. The entire game is portrayed through cards, from the narrative to the combat. The card illustrations are phenomenal, and the game does a wonderful job of merging card-based mechanics with RPG combat and storytelling without veering too close to Hearthstone or Slay the Spire. The game was co-directed by Yoko Taro, known for games like Nier and Dragon Card. As such, you probably won't ever quite know what to expect while playing Voice of Cards. It's a unique experience that's not to be missed. Let me know what you think about the top 10 turn-based JRPGs of 2021. Are you agree with me? Have I missed something? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to take a look at the written version of this video on turnbasedlovers.com. And also, remember to hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and consider supporting us through our member program Patreon page and Buy Me a Coffee page. Lots of perks and mystery box awaits you. Wish you the best, ciao!